Hey guys, how are you doing? How you doing? Long time no see. Well, it's only been 3 weeks, I guess, hasn't it? I hope you're all doing well. Sorry for doing it on Sunday. Nobody likes to do a live show on a Sunday, but it's been a busy week since I've got back. I am in my apartment, so it's good to see you all. I haven't been in my apartment for 2 months now, so it's kind of weird to be back after all this time. Not sure how I feel about it. Anyway, where are you guys watching from this morning, this afternoon, this evening? Given that you are in different parts of the world, it's always good to know. I've got my coffee here, my cup of coffee, which I'm going to be drinking for the next hour, very slowly probably. I've been editing all day. You can see the laptop over there. That's my usual laptop I do these videos on, but it's currently rendering the brand new video that's coming out literally 1 hour after this live show's done. So the live show finish, I'll upload the video and then you can watch that. So if you're still awake after this live show, you can watch today's video, which involves Pete and I going to a monkey park in Kyoto. Anyway, where are you guys watching from? Good evening, good morning. I'll be here for the first half. I'm exploring Chinatown in Toronto, says Romantic Geek. You lucky devil. I want to explore Chinatown in Toronto. That sounds fun. Watching from Slovenia, Vienna, Shrewsbury, New York City, Scotland, Austin, Hertfordshire, Waco, Texas. I'm still working on the pronunciation of Waco. Christy, I'm still working on it. I'm dreading the coming 72-hour work week that starts tonight. Oh no, 72-hour work week. That sucks. Good luck. You can do it. Melbourne, nice sticky notes, says Scrublet, but there are only 2 sticky notes. Yes, I don't even know why they're there. I think it's more just decoration to make it look like I actually have a workspace that I do important things. But yeah, it's outdated. I need to get rid of those. I need to make my office look more appealing because that's literally it. It's just a little desk with a scruffy, scruffy fucking white pad, whatever you call it, white noteboard, and 2 post-it notes. That's it. It's terrible, wasn't it? Oh dear. Anyway, I hope you guys have been enjoying the Journey Across Japan series so far. I'm going to show you what I've been eating this evening. Look at this. As I often talk about in these videos, and as you probably know if you're into your Japan culture, we have a lot of Kit Kat flavours in Japan, and I saw this one today and I had to buy it. I knew I had to buy it. There was no two ways about it. This is strawberry cheesecake flavoured Kit Kat. It gets more exotic as the years go by. The flavours get more and more exotic and exuberant. This is strawberry cheesecake, and it looks nice on the photo. In terms of taste, I've forgotten what it tastes like. I better eat another one. I think it's like a 7 out of 10. Oh, look, it's Sharla. Sharla in Japan. How you doing, Sharla? Good to see you. All right, here we go. Well, just tastes like white chocolate with a hint of strawberry. Yeah, give it a 7 out of 10. Since the cycle, guys, I am addicted to this good old royal jelly, as I've been going on about for the last month in the videos. It is good though. Right, when people come to Japan, they always send me pictures of themselves with some fried chicken. And I know the next thing they're all going to be sending is pictures of them with this when they come to Japan and try some royal jelly. Oh, well. It also feels a bit weird because, sorry, I shouldn't be talking while I'm eating. For the last 2 months, I've been doing these live shows with somebody else, usually Sharla, who is in the comments. There's no escape from Sharla, it seems. She's everywhere. Hello, Sharla. Ryotaro, he's joined us a few times. So, yeah, it feels a bit weird to be doing this alone again. Kind of sad. Because I feel like I'm hogging all the limelight. But anyway, for the next... I really should stop talking whilst eating Kit Kats. But for the next hour, I am all yours. So throw your questions at me. Let me know what you want to know. And I will tell you. I will tell you all. As for me, you're probably wondering what happens now. So first off, the reason I haven't promoted the end of the cycle, which ended a few days ago in Kagoshima, is I felt a bit premature. I didn't want to confuse lots of viewers. Because the videos that are coming out are a little bit delayed, right, by 2-3 weeks or something. I didn't want to say I finished the cycle, yeah, and then loads of people be confused by the fact that there's not enough. There's no videos of that bit. So I've been stalling. I'm not sure what to do, to be honest. I think I'm going to, probably in 1 week's time, I'm going to announce that the cycle's finished and I've done it. Yeah. And then the video is just going to come out as they are now, like every 3 or 4 days or something. There is no holiday for me. I am supposed to be going to the UK in about 1 week. I'll be on a plane going to the UK for a month or two. And while I'm there, I'm just going to be sitting in a room editing and eating cheese and sausages, which is, there you go. I like the series. This is Nickema Wolf. I like the series, but it feels like the release date has slowed down quite a bit. What has changed from the beginning until now? Yeah, good point. So the reason the videos have been less frequent recently is just because the last week in Kyushu, when we were filming and doing everything, we got that TV interview, the Kumamoto TV interview, and that took like 2 days off my schedule of editing time. And I think the bit in Kyushu was just so intense. Like, we had so much going on. I think the first part of the cycle, if you go back and look at the videos where there was like me and Joey cycling around, we were going through the middle of nowhere. So we'd finish our day kind of early because we hadn't got a lot going on. And then I'd have time to sit down, edit in the evening. Whereas in Kyushu, it was very much film. In the evenings, we're probably filming something, so I couldn't edit then. And so that kind of happened. But now that I'm finished and I'm back here and I've got more time, I can pick up the pace again. I can get back to having quicker release times. Although the next video is going to take a little bit of time because it is the Osaka video where Pete and I did loads of cool stuff in Osaka. So that's going to be a tough one. But yeah, it is unfortunate. In terms of whether I evaluate the cycle a success or not, I guess it's half and half, really. On the one half, I went all that way on a bike, and I am fitter. I'm fitter than I started. I think I've lost 3 or 4 kilograms. Not as much weight as I would have liked, although I did. My upper body seems to be more muscly because I was cycling like that, right, leaning forwards, and it seems to have made my arms more muscly. My chest is less. What's the word? I don't know. I've got a nicer chest, so I feel kind of confident and happy and good. So that's nice. I've lost a bit of weight, so that's a success. Next thing, we did make a video every day in terms of filming every day. Granted, they're not coming out every day because of the time taken to edit them, but we did actually make a video every single day of the trip, and that was a success. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. And so there are 36 videos coming out of this journey across Japan. And the one coming out tonight is the 16th video, right? So this is not even halfway in all the videos that are coming out. It's crazy, right? Crazy. So those 2 aspects were a success. Bits that aren't a success, I would have liked to have interacted more with Japanese people. We did get more and more people as the videos went by, but it's so difficult to spontaneously get Japanese people to appear on camera. They are quite a camera shy people. So yeah, they're a little bit camera shy. So it can be hard to get them on camera. And then when you tell them, oh, I've got a YouTube channel, there's 1 million subscribers, they're even more scared, as you'd expect, even more reluctant to go on camera. So it doesn't help my case. But there are a few cases where we did meet some really nice Japanese people along the way. So yeah, that's one thing I regret, though, not meeting more people. And certainly by doing this series, I've learned what makes the videos work and what makes the videos not work. Second thing I'm not happy about is just the frequency of the videos going and being uploaded. I would have liked to have done more. I would have liked to have had the same pace we had in that first week. But for the most part, I am happy how it turned out, and it was a lot of fun. And I think the videos are going to show that. And I think for the long term, it's going to be fun. You can sit down, watch them all, and have a journey across Japan yourself. Anyway, would you do a challenge like this again, says Natalie. I would definitely do a challenge like this again. In fact, I'd love to actually cycle across Japan and not film it this time, because it's a little bit hard to enjoy the cycling when you're constantly thinking about what you're going to film and what you've got to do next. So if I did do it again, Natalie, I wouldn't film it. I'd actually just cycle. And I really do think I'm going to cycle when it gets warmer again, because it's bloody freezing out there now. Can't go outside. When it gets warmer, I'm definitely going to get on my bike and cycle some more. Christy says, no shaving allowed. I have to. The time will come that I'm going to have to shave. But for now, it's quite nice. I quite like it. You know, this is the longest I've ever had my facial hair. It's the longest it's ever been. And I'm going to get rid of it at some point. But it's just effort, isn't it? It's difficult. The reason I did have this facial hair, though, is to show that I did genuinely travel across Japan for like a month and a half, and you can see in each video that the facial hair becomes marginally longer, right? So you get a real sense of time progression. That was the main reason I didn't shave. So yeah. How long till you get back on a bike again? Says Ecuador. Till spring next year, when it's actually warm, definitely. Non-cycle related questions. We're going on a honeymoon in March 2019, mostly in rural Japan, says Romantic Geek. Playing up to your name there, Mr. Romantic Geek, going on your honeymoon. We're going to mostly rural Japan, a lot in northern Japan and Hokkaido. Would you recommend a car or a JR rail pass? I'd recommend a JR rail pass, to be honest, especially as in March there's still going to be a lot of snow, so driving in the snow isn't fun. Not fun at all. So, yeah, I would just get a JR rail pass and be done with it. Much easier. Nikoma Wolf says, since filming outdoors is usually hard on equipment, how many things broke during the series? That's a good question. We broke the car. We smashed the windscreen on the car, which I did reveal, and I think in day 3 or day 4 of the series. Yeah, we had an incident with the car reversing into a wall with the bikes on it. The bike... Oh, yeah, shit, the bike actually broke massively. We had to replace the bike in Kobe with Ryotaro. I finally lost my shit at Ryotaro because, as you may have recalled, I'm not too happy with the mountain bike I was using in the cycle because the tyre is very thick. So it means cycling on the road was so hard, so unnecessarily hard. I don't know why I let Ryotaro talk me into buying that fucking bike. So the bike finally broke. I don't know what happened. But one day I woke up and started cycling, and the tyre itself had bent out of position. So the tyre was like wobbling all over the place. And actually, viewers have noticed this on a video. It's a video where I was cycling with Charlotte, and the bike broke on the hill. A few people pointed out, "Oh yeah, your tyre's fucked." And I think the point that the tyre might have started to bend was when I fell off the bike. Like if you go back and look at that video, I fall off the bike. I wasn't looking where I was going. I was looking in the GoPro camera, and I crashed into a pole. I fell over, and the tyre bent, I think. And then it just got progressively worse until the gear system just fell off as well. So this was a $2,000 bike. I was really pissed off about this. So I'm gonna try and right now the bike is somewhere in Tokyo with the production crew. But we did get a new bike, and yeah, that was much easier and more fun to ride because it was a proper road bike, so it was a lot easier. So yeah, bloody bikes. But yeah, the bike broke. Everything else was okay. The camera was fine. The GoPro 7. If you're on the fence about getting a GoPro 7, definitely get one. They're really good. Without it, the videos wouldn't have been half as good. Yeah, but other than that, everything worked pretty well, I'd say. Nothing else went wrong to mind. Although I did get sick. Actually, that was the first question. So some of you guys have sent in your questions, and the first question was, how did you decide? Well, no, what was it? Shit. At what point did you realise you had to take a sick day on the trip, says Jack. I realised because I couldn't get out of bed, really. And there's a video where I'm just sort of cycling and I just look half dead, and it's just me whinging. And that's one of the first videos in Kyushu. It's just me sitting on a bike, whinging and complaining about why I'm doing this and just losing the will to live. But I just had like flu or something. So I ended up just sitting in bed and doing nothing for a few days, trying to recover. Oh, and as Charlotte pointed out, the drone did get attacked by hawks. Whenever you fly a drone, it seems to attract lots of hawks because Japan has loads of hawks and they love drones. So we nearly lost a few drones along the way as well. You need to mount a Nerf gun on the drone for defense, says Jonathan. Yeah, good idea. Weaponize the drone with a Nerf gun. Next question. When I visit Japan, I couldn't stop wondering. When I visited Japan, says Ratsby, I couldn't stop wondering about why is there such a big contrast between the happy world of the children and the quiet, closed world of the adults. Why is that? I don't know. Why is that, Charlotte? I think it's because Japanese people just take things way too seriously. Like, I remember reading an article about how in Japan, elderly people act like children. And there seems to be a curve with Japanese people. You're a kid and you're innocent and you can have fun. And then sometime around the age of 16, life gets quite serious. Then by the time you're 18 to 20, it's really serious and you're an adult. And then when you retire and you hit about 60, you kind of become a kid again, and it's all right for you to act like a ridiculous person. I don't know why that is. It's just the way Japanese culture works. I guess, as Charlotte's just pointed out, work-life balance doesn't exist, so everybody hates their lives. So, what a nice uplifting way of looking at it. Yes. For a change of pace, why not film in the UK, says Christy, and show us uncommon things to do that most tourists wouldn't know about. I am going to make a video in the UK, and that video is going to be comparing Tokyo to London, because it's a video I've always wanted to make. And I'm going to compare like Tokyo and London in a lot of detail and try and see which is better in terms of like architecture, in terms of food, in terms of people, in terms of safety. I think I already know what conclusion I'll come to. Probably that London is more dynamic and interesting and multicultural, but Tokyo is more adventurous and safe, and better food probably. But yeah, that's probably one. That's one video I'm going to make when I go back to the UK. And I'm actually trying to convince Natsuki to come over to London, to come over to the UK in January. Natsuki rang me the other day to congratulate me on finishing the cycle, and he said he's thinking of coming to London randomly, and I was like, yeah, that's great, come on over. So there's a chance Natsuki might come to the UK again for the third time in 3 or 4 years, and we might make a video. So yeah. Scrublet says Japan doesn't have Greggs, therefore London is better. Fair point, Scrublet. Although I bet half the people in the comments don't know what Greggs is. The bakery. If you don't know what Greggs is, guys, when you go to the UK, try it. It's a bakery where things are really cheap but really good. It's the best way I can describe Greggs, basically. Type Beast says Tokyo Lens, Dogen, and Chris Okano all said that Osaka is more casual than Tokyo. Do you agree? In what ways is it more casual? It's a good question. I just like Osaka more in general. It's just more fun. Like at the end of tonight's video, which is coming out in 2 hours, there's a little scene, like an upcoming scene for the next video, and it's basically just Pete and I talking to some people, some Japanese people, some like teenagers who are out drinking or something. And it kind of epitomizes what makes Osaka so good. You can just talk to people. People are so friendly and laid back and fun. Like whenever I go to Osaka, I just meet these amazing people. I just have some great times and adventures. And just people are more laid back and outgoing, which is just what I've read from Charlotte's comment. I didn't make that up. I just read her comment. But yeah, Osaka, you just have a really good night out. All my best nights out in Japan, always Osaka. I don't know why it is. It's just more fun and dynamic. They say that, most of Japan's comedians actually come from Osaka because they're just more comedic and fun and wacky. And I don't know, it's way more laid back and fun. And it's a little bit grittier, a little bit dirtier than Tokyo. If you go down the back streets of Osaka, it's more dirty than Tokyo and most Japanese cities. That's what makes it so fun. Like, I just love getting lost down the back streets of Osaka. It's one of my favourite things. And until this trip, until the cycle, when we passed through Osaka, I was actually starting to go off it, because the last 2 or 3 times I've been there, I just wasn't having fun, because it's very touristy, very busy. But this time it was amazing, and I realised that it's all up to you, really. You can go to Osaka and have a shit time if you don't do anything, but if you go out, you go to the bars, you meet people. If you go to restaurants and eat things, and you just walk around and do things and get stuck into the city, you can really, really enjoy your time in Osaka. And actually, Charla, who's hidden in the comments somewhere, she was with us in Osaka. And I remember Charla kind of said that she didn't really enjoy Osaka. She'd never really liked it until she came with us. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess Osaka's fun. As Kath says, Tokyo's overwhelming. Too much crowd. There you go. Christy says, I agree. It's definitely got more litter and more rudeness, but I still like Osaka better than Tokyo. I think most people do, to be honest. And the food in Osaka is better. They call Osaka the kitchen of Japan, just because there's a lot more. It feels like Osaka has a very strong identity when it comes to cuisine. There's a lot more unique dishes like okonomiyaki or takoyaki, whereas Tokyo, I don't know what people eat in Tokyo. Like all the dishes in Tokyo are just places they've stolen from the rest of Japan, like good dishes from other places. So yeah, as Charlotte says, I had a really crap impression of Osaka until this trip, and now I can't wait to go back. Yeah, I felt like that. I didn't want to leave Osaka. So yeah, If you go to Japan, make sure Osaka's like really high on your list, because that's where you'll have your most exciting Japanese experience, I think. That's where you're most likely to meet someone. Actually, I gave some dating advice to someone recently. I can't remember who it was, but I gave some dating advice to somebody, and he said, "What's the best way to meet Japanese girls?" or something like that. And I basically said, just go to Osaka and use Tinder, and it works. Apparently, it will work. Trust me. Osaka plus Tinder equals meeting people, or Meetup. Meetup.com seems to be a really great way to meet people in Japan. So yeah, I'd always try Meetup.com. Like if you go on Meetup.com, for example, and just type in Tokyo, you'll see like loads of gatherings going on in places like Shinjuku and Shibuya. So if you come here and you want to meet people, have a bit of fun, drink with random strangers and make friends, Meetup.com is actually pretty decent. And no, this Patreon live stream isn't sponsored by Meetup.com, and I've only used it once, and it was quite good. And that was for New Year's, 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. Oh, and Charlotte's elaborated on what made Osaka so good. Number one, it's because of the people I was with. Of course, you're with. Yeah. Number two, you need to go out drinking, eating, and karaokeing, or you're not doing Osaka right. That's right. Absolutely. You need to really get stuck into it. You need to basically drink a lot. Case in point, says Jonathan's sister, there's a barbecue in Osaka, a barbecue place in Osaka called Sex Machine. There isn't a place in Tokyo called Sex Machine. Well, there probably is. It probably is, Jonathan, if you know where to look. But yeah, there you go. What more could you want? A barbecue called Sex Machine. That's what. That's exactly what you want when you go to Osaka. Of the places you went on your bike ride, says Jack, where would you recommend to go? Well, Osaka. And also, I'd recommend Kagoshima was amazing. Kagoshima was everything I thought it would be. I remember we rolled into Kagoshima, and you've just got Sakurajima volcano there smoking away, because the volcano in Kagoshima City, in the bay, it smokes like 24 hours a day. Like it reminded me of Disney Sea. Have you ever been to Disneyland? Have you ever been to Disney Sea in Tokyo? There's like a giant volcano in the center and it's smoking. It was like that, but real and massive. So that was quite cool. Kagoshima and Hiroshima. Hiroshima's always fun. I love Hiroshima. And Kobe and just everywhere, really. There's so many bloody places that were great. Yeah, Kagoshima, though. Kagoshima really stood out. Absolutely. I'd highly recommend it. And I think Charlotte would agree with me on there, because she was there too and she seemed to like it. Have you weighed yourself to get the definitive number of kilograms lost, says Christy, who's also live here in the comments. Yeah, I lost 3 or 4 kilograms. I think it's 3 kilograms or 4 kilograms. I think it's 4 kilograms. But it's difficult to know how much weight you've lost, because I've definitely gained muscle. So it feels like weighing myself doesn't really feel effective. Certainly in the morning when I'm not wearing any top and I look in the mirror, I look thinner than I did 3 months ago by quite a bit. So that's my measurement of success. Do I look in the mirror and go, wow? And the answer is yes, now I do. So that's how I know how much weight I've lost. Will there be a season 2 of Journey Across Japan in which you sail down the Pacific coast of Japan, says Mike. There will not be a season 2 of Journey Across Japan, Mike, but there will be a season 2 of something. Like now, one thing I forgot to point out, and how cool is this, that if you look at all the videos for Journey Across Japan, it says season 1, episode like 5 or episode 6. And not many channels actually have that on YouTube. You have to unlock it. And it took me like a week or 2 of going backwards and forwards, talking to YouTube, trying to convince them to do it. But it looks really cool now, so you can see like what season it is. So it's got me thinking like what seasons I want to make next year, and I absolutely want to make. I've been thinking about what videos I want to make next year, right? Naturally, as you'd expect, always looking forward, always thinking about what's next, and I think I'd like to go back to my roots a little bit and make a kind of wacky, crazy Japan series, because I haven't done that in a while. That's how I got my start doing YouTube, right? I used to focus on weird shit like love hotels or robot restaurants or dinosaur hotels or that crazy bar which has a guy in a costume as a frog doing horrible things, all kinds of shit like that, right? And KFC Christmas Japan, of course, KFC Christmas Japan. Oh, I tried it once, never again. But I want to make a kind of wacky, only in Japan style series, just focusing on the craziest, wackiest things. Something I haven't done in a while, and I think a lot of people would be really interested in watching that. I don't know. What do you think? The other idea I had was a series of videos focusing on people, on Japanese people, and trying to meet interesting characters. So those are two things I'm really keen on doing. A kind of meeting Japanese people series and a wacky, weird, crazy fucking series. So I now have the resources to get that done. Like, with the help of Tokyo Creative, I can get that done, because one of the key things in finding all these wacky places or meeting all these interesting people is you kind of need a native Japanese person to help organize it, right? It's not something I could just do. Like, when I used to just do it, I could never, there were certain things I couldn't do. Just being a foreigner in Japan, it would be too difficult to plan and ring up a restaurant and try and get their permission. But now I have the backing of like Tokyo Creative, I can actually do kind of interesting things more, I feel. So yeah, over Christmas, over the holidays, while I'm editing, I'm going to be drawing up plans for like a 10-part series or a 12-part series. I think 12 sounds nicer, doesn't it? 12-part series, yeah. Of, whoa, fuck. Oh my God, that whole time Siri's just been listening to what I've been saying and literally tried to listen and copy that's mental. Siri is the videos fixing of people on Japanese people in charge me interesting.
Okay. I found something on the web for videos fixing of people on Japanese people in charge of me interesting. Can't an alarm set up 2 things I'm really clean I'm doing. I have a cut of meat and Japanese people series auto lucky with crazy fucking series, so I don't have the results to get that done. Like, with the help of Take a Crate, if I can get that done, because one of the key things in finding leads wacky places will meet him is he kind of need a native Japanese person to help organize it. It's not something I could just Dave Blaze to just do it. I can edit them in settings. I could date just being a Florida and Japan Liberty difficult to Platte River restaurant in Troy get a commission. But now I have at the back, if I take a crazy fucking actually do kind of interesting things more, she'll say
really weird. Absolutely utter mindfuck. Why was that listening to everything I just said for the last like 10 minutes? I'm impressed. It absolutely failed at working out what I was saying. That was terrifying. What the fuck was that? Why did it do that? That's really creepy. Anyway, enough of Siri ruining my live show. I don't even remember what I was saying now. That's just completely fucked me up. Jesus Christ. Let's go to the comments so I can find some sanity. How was Onamichi, says Scrubbler. I love the Yakuza games, but I'll only visit if there is lots to do. You know what? I was watching the Yakuza game, the Japanese Yakuza game, and I realised that it was Onamichi without knowing it was Onamichi, because I've been to Onamichi 2 or 3 times. And I was watching the character like run around the streets on the game, and I was like, wait a minute, isn't that Onamichi town in Hiroshima? And it was mad. It was really weird, it was really trippy. Do a series of rare places where people don't go to the islands. Do a series of rare places where people don't go. Oh, right, okay. I'm sorry, my head's still fucked from this Siri monstrosity. Do a series of rare places where people don't go, like the islands of Tokyo. Yeah, could do that. Could do. I definitely think I could do 1 episode on like a weird island or something. Only thing is, I don't want to copy anyone. Like, I know if you look at someone like Only in Japan, John Daub, he's already done one of the islands in Tokyo. So I want to do something different to John, because I don't want to look like I'm copying him. Charlotte says, oh yeah, I vote for rare places. I should definitely go to that town, that abandoned island city, Hashin Island, Battleship Island, off the coast of, where's it off the coast of? Nagasaki. Off the coast of Nagasaki, there's that abandoned island. You might have seen it in James Bond's Skyfall. It used to have a population of like 5,000 people, and then they abandoned it overnight because I think the island's economy ran out. But it's a big city. They call it the largest abandoned city in the world, and it looks incredible. And you can actually go and visit it. So I'd like to go there and check that out. You should. Lots of comments here. Sounds like a bad English translation. Yeah, that was mental. What impressed me about that the Siri thing was it absolutely completely failed. Didn't really get a single word. Like, what a nightmare. Aogashima. I'm going there in a week. Aogashima. Where's that, Kevin? Aogashima. Sounds like a mixture of Aokigahara forest and an island. Yeah, what is that? Yeah, no. In terms of this island, because I can see a few of you a little bit confused in the comments. It's yeah, just type in Battleship Island into YouTube or Google. Quite a lot of people gone there ever since James Bond came out. Ever since Skyfall came out in 2012. In the movie, the James Bond villain has the island as his like base, and so it kind of brought it to prominence. You should go to Cat Island, says Kerry. I've been to Cat Island many times, and it's a ridiculous place. I don't even know what to think of Cat Island anymore. I suppose it's kind of fun. That's it. Kevin said it. Aogashima is the island John Daub went to. Okay, so Aogashima it looks amazing. It doesn't even look like a real island. Type it in, Aogashima, Aogashima, and it's like a little. It's incredible. It's like a volcano. It's like a volcanic crater just in the sea, and it looks really trippy. When I first saw a photo of Aogashima, I didn't think it was real. I don't know if you thought that, Kevin, but I saw a photo of it and I was like, that can't be a real place. Like, no. And it's like the inside of a volcanic crater, and that's it. And it's just really weird. I can't do it justice. Maybe I can find a photo of it. Maybe the phone can actually do something useful for once, other than listen to what I'm saying and try and repeat everything. But yeah, no. So I want to try and do. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it doesn't look real. There you go. Look at this. As you can see, it's like a volcanic crater, and then there's like a mini volcano in the crater. Absolute mindfuck, but it's a real cool place. Maybe Siri can help you, says Jonathan. It definitely can't. Let's try that again with Siri. Siri, show me Aogashima.
I couldn't find any matching places.
Rubbish. $100 billion. Can't do the simplest of tasks. What a waste of time and effort on the part of Apple. Looks like a lemon juicer. It does actually look like a lemon juicer a little bit, yeah. I teach at the school on the island. Holy shit, do you really? That's mental. You teach on Aogashima. What's it like? What's that like, Kevin? I'd love to make a series, actually, just interviewing people that work in Japan as teachers just work in Japan teaching in really obscure locations. So you can be the first one, Kevin. We can come over to Aogashima and interview you in your teaching job on the island, because that's mental. Like, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. What would you rather have a series on, guys? If it was a choice between a series showing you weird and wacky stuff, which can be anything really, that can be people or places or anything, or a series dedicated to people, just interesting people, or both foreigners and Japanese people living weird lives, doing unique things. What would you rather have a focus on? Like a people-based series or just a straight-up wacky, strange series? Don't know. What do you reckon? How about a series on maid cafes? Says Nickama Wolf. Oh, I don't know. I've never been to a maid cafe. I know Charla has. If you're still there, Charla, are maid cafes good? Like, have any of you guys been to a maid cafe? Because you know what? I have actually never been to one, and I've never really felt compelled to go to one either. Certainly, if I made this series, I would go, because I know people would request it and would love to see it. But Kevin Jones, who lives on Aogashima, says, I like it for 2 weeks per year. It's fantastic, but I couldn't live there for 3 years. Ah, right, so you only teach there for 2 weeks. You go over every year for like 2 weeks and teach, do you? But you couldn't live there for 3 years. No, it's too isolated, isn't it? Yeah. One maid cafe is more than enough, says Charla, for an entire lifetime. Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's pretty much how I'd feel about a maid cafe. I should probably go one time. I'll try and find the weirdest, craziest, trippiest fucking maid cafe there is, and we'll go there and try and do it. I didn't enjoy it. It felt really touristy, says TR87. Yeah, that's the thing. I suppose it depends which one you go to. If you go to a maid cafe in Akihabara, which is where I suppose all the maid cafes are, it is going to be a little bit touristy. It'd be so awkward, like being waited on hand and foot and then being all cutesy and stuff, says Jonathan. Yeah, I know, right? It would be very awkward. I don't really see the attraction. The closest thing I can compare a maid cafe to would be a snack bar or a hostess bar, right? Where you sit there and women staff, female staff, pour your drinks and light your cigarettes and talk to you and chat you up and stuff and just basically massage your ego, make you feel cooler than you actually are. I used to go there quite a bit because in the town where I lived, in Sakata, there wasn't much more to do in the way of entertainment. So, you just go there for a drink because most of the bars in Sakata were snack bars, were hostess bars. And I never really enjoyed it because it just felt awkward and weird. As Jonathan just said, people wait on you hand and foot, and it all felt very superficial. Add in weird costumes and cutesy talk and cutesy mannerisms, and I think it'd be a nightmare. So yeah, maid cafes are my idea of my worst nightmare. Do the one, says Charlotte. Do the one where you pay people to cuddle with you and clean your ears. That just sounds like shit. Like, I know you like cleaning your ears, Charlotte, because I remember helping you film a video 6 months ago where somebody cleaned your ears, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever had to do. I don't know why I helped you that day, to be honest. I don't know. It just feels a bit weird paying someone to cuddle them. Would you do that? Do you do that, ladies and gentlemen? Do you pay someone to cuddle you? I don't know. Oh, you have to speak to Siri as Chad the American, says Type Beast. It's the only way. It's the only way, isn't it, that Siri might understand what I'm saying. Cuddling and cleaning your ears. There's a market out there for that, I bet, says Jonathan. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing it anytime soon. All right, let's see what other questions you guys have sent in. What's your next big plan after cycling in Japan? The next series doing wacky shit. I asked you guys actually what your favourite moment from the series so far has been. So I'm going to read out some of those comments. Edichi says, my favourite episode was the haunted tunnel where both you and Joey were scared the shit out of yourself. I wasn't scared. That was acting. Really, really good acting. Yeah. No, all right, to be fair, I was a little bit scared. The tunnel was a little bit creepy. As we pointed out on this live show, on the Patreon Hangout, I think in October last month, there's a voice. You can hear a voice in the tunnel at like 10 minutes or something if you listen carefully. So yeah, I have reason to be scared. Callum's favourite moment was seeing all the amazing shots of rural Japan. It's honestly a lot more interesting than seeing the main cities now. Yeah, I think I've got like a lifetime supply of drone footage. Like, I don't think anybody has the amount of drone footage of Japan as I do now. So yeah, the Dr. Jelly commercial was my number one favourite, says Jonathan. The Pete segment is a close second. Yeah, Dr. Jelly commercial. I think that's one of my favourite moments, to be honest. It's still, I mean, that's one you guys are saying in the comments now. Romantic Geek says Dr. Jelly was my favourite. What was interesting was that day of the cycle, we had no idea what to do because we were cycling through absolute middle of nowhere, nothing. We couldn't do anything interesting. And just focusing on the cycle, it isn't enough to make an interesting video. And we had Joey, the anime man, so we thought we'd exploit him some way. So I asked my production team, who choose the challenges every day, to try and find something creative and interesting. And they pulled that one out of the hat. Somebody sent that in. I was so grateful for it. Make a Japanese commercial. And yeah, we took the most barren day, the most like middle of nowhere rural day of the trip, and turned it into one of the best videos, or certainly one of the most memorable experiences. So, you know, I felt really happy about that. And the fact that we found that train carriage that we could film in as well, that was just so bloody lucky. Seriously. That was like so lucky, honestly. Feldy says, the episode where you pimped out your bikes was a highlight moment for me. I enjoyed that. The Nintendo 64 controller survived for at least 2 weeks, I think. And then it disappeared, and I have no idea what happened to it. But yeah, I enjoyed that day. Pete in Japan. Pete joining the cycle has been the best thing that happened so far. He is a natural. The fish stole my hat. That's whoever wrote that. Their name is Secret Agent. Makes me think maybe it's Pete. Probably is Pete. Maybe he's in here in secret. Don't know. Certainly, the videos with Pete are amongst my favourite. Like, I've had a great time with everyone that joined the trip. After Pete, there's 1, 2, 3. There's like 4 more guests to join as well. But yeah, no, I felt like we had some pretty cool guests. Did you have fun, Charlotte? What was your favourite memory? Better dive in the comments. What we got? You think a maid cafe is weird? There's a yaoi cafe where male waiters will reenact some yaoi anime. It's absolute madness, says Kath. Oh my god, that does sound like madness. Male maid cafe waiters. I mean, that just sounds like just awful. Now I've got an image of some maid girl trying to hug Chris, and he's just pushing her off and being all snarky about it. That could be a good video. Romantic Geek says maybe you could do a cat cafe or a hedgehog cafe. You know what? I've never filmed a cat cafe, but I have filmed a hedgehog cafe. But I unlisted it because, along with my owl cafe video, because when I look back on the footage of the owl cafe video and the hedgehog cafe video, I realised that it wasn't very fair and it was wrong. I think, like, a few people started commenting on the videos that they were shocked and not very happy with seeing the hedgehog cafe and the owl cafe, and I agree with it in time. Like, when I saw the owls tied up and stuff, not being able to fly, I know it felt kind of sad. And when I saw, thinking about the hedgehog video, like in the hedgehog cafe, you go in, I think you pay like $5, and you go in, and there's lots of little cages, and you sit down, and you can order, I think you can order a coffee or something, but you reach into the cage, and you can pull out the hedgehog and hold it. And at first, that's kind of cool, right? It's kind of awesome because you don't normally see hedgehogs at all. They're so well hidden. So to see it sort of scurrying around in front of you was really awesome. But it's a nocturnal animal, as are owls. And it's the middle of the day, and there's loads of people in there shouting, holding the hedgehog and annoying the owls. And yeah, in hindsight, it didn't feel very nice. And I know Japan doesn't have the greatest of reputations when it comes to animal, just how they deal with animals and how they handle animals. And I felt the owl cafe video and the hedgehog cafe didn't really do Japan any favors, and it made me look bad. And yeah, I didn't want to promote either of them, so I got rid of them. They're unlisted and they're not on the channel anymore, and I don't want to put them back up. But yeah, Lawson's Pete is hilarious. I'm looking forward to more videos with him, says Natalie. Well, Natalie, you've only got 1 more hour. All I've got to do is make the thumbnail for the video, which is going to take ages to get a good thumbnail. Unfortunately, the most recent video I put up with Pete about when we had the paper map and we got lost in Kyoto didn't do as well as I was hoping. That's partly because I released it on a Monday evening, which is the worst possible time of the week to release anything on YouTube because not many people are watching. So I lost potential 20,000 viewers. But also the thumbnail as well. The thumbnail looks cool, but it's not very revealing as to what it is. So I think that's part of the reason that the video didn't do too well either. So yeah, this evening I've got to try and make a good thumbnail with a monkey in it. That's the first thing I do. The moment I finish this live stream, I've got to go over there and make a thumbnail with a monkey before I put up the damn video. Charlotte says, I think my favourite moments from the trip will be in the videos to come, actually, so I won't give them away. Oh, I want to know what they are. What are they? What are they? Tell me. The animal cruelty angle is the big thing, definitely. But also, how the hell do you keep animal fur out of your food? Like, how yeah, good point. I remember going to a cat cafe once. I remember going to a cat cafe that did food, and I couldn't imagine eating anything in there because it's just like cat hair flying around everywhere because you've got like 50 cats in there walking around and stuff. So yeah, I don't get it. Don't know why that's a thing. I agree with you about the animal cafe, says TR87. Romantic Geek says that's pretty awful. I didn't know they tied up the owls. Yeah, it was terrible. Like, if you look at the video, you can see the owl, their foot is kind of tied to the post. And I guess when I went into the owl cafe, I thought, oh, they're domestic owls. It's fine. They like being inside. But then I realised that's probably bollocks. I think that's just something they've made up. I mean, I don't think you can domesticate an owl. Maybe you can. Maybe you can have an owl as a pet. I don't know. But like, there was lots of owls in there in a very small space, and they couldn't fly, so it didn't feel right to me. I'm all right with Fox Village because I think the enclosure is pretty damn big. Like the enclosure is huge, and though there are some videos online showing that Fox Village isn't a bad place, is a bad place that's not well managed. I think it is. Like from what I've seen, I've been there, 4 or 5 times now. Often when people come to Japan to Tohoku, the top of their list thing to do is go to Fox Village. So I take them there, and they always enjoy it. And I've never really seen anything there that's put me off. Like there are some cages, but that's usually for foxes that are being treated for some sort of illness. So yeah, I've never really had a problem with Fox Village. Never had a problem with Cat Island because it's just a big fucking island with loads of cats on it. And cat cafes are all right because I think cats seem to like it because there's just loads of food and free drinks and food for them. So I think cats like it. Rabbit Island is all right. It's just an island with loads of rabbits. And yeah, so it's half of them are right, half of them are bad. The foxes loved me. I patted a 3-legged one, says Scrublet. Oh shit. Kind of, yeah. 3-legged fox. That's not good. The best YouTube video I saw on animal cafes was Emma, I think, Tokidoki Traveller. And she said those are the ones that focused on rescuing and rehoming the cats. Yeah, definitely. There's lots of cafes that take in unwanted cats as well. So yeah, they do good things. Generally, I do find people in Japan do treat animals well. It's just sometimes they don't. And of course, that documentary, The Cove, with the dolphins getting slaughtered in Wakayama Prefecture. I think it's Tajima. Can't remember the name of the place. All the dolphins getting slaughtered didn't do Japan many favors on the animal front. As you'd expect, stabbing dolphins to death doesn't look particularly good on camera or for anything. But it's something that most Japanese people don't endorse, and most people didn't even know about until The Cove came out. So, yeah. I remember when The Cove came out, actually, I got loads of abuse on my videos. Loads of people commented saying, why are you promoting Japan? They kill dolphins. And it did seem to unlock the door to... what's the word I'm looking for? Did seem to unlock the doors of hate, and Japan got a lot of hate, and lots of people that didn't really deserve it got a lot of hate. So, yeah, that's the trouble with that's the only. I haven't actually seen The Cove though. I'll need to watch it. Although I'm completely sympathetic to the plight of the dolphins in The Cove. Why now? The best animal video is Charlotte with deers in Nara. There you go, Charlotte. You've got a fan. Kath is your fan. Right, should I eat this jelly or not? I can't decide. No, I won't eat it. I feel stuffed. Chris and Charlotte, have you guys caught Conan O'Brien's trip to Japan at all? I did. I watched it. I watched the behind-the-scenes making of it a few months ago. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, Conan O'Brien, the greatest comedian in the US ever, he came to Japan for a few days and did loads of crazy, wacky shit. And they're really cool. You can check them out on YouTube. Conan O'Brien in Japan, and he went down Harajuku dressed up like a maniac. He what else did he do? Oh, he rented a family. Actually, I'd like to do that for a video. That could be quite fun. I would like to rent a family because I think that would be awesome. Like he made that look. He kind of sold the idea for me. He rented a dad, a wife, and a daughter. And it was pretty surreal. So yeah, Conan is a legend. And he went to Conan Town, which is a real place. Yeah, there is a town called Conan Town. From what I understand, it's in Tottori Prefecture, which is the most remote backwater prefecture in all of Japan. It's a miracle he went there, of all places. Makes me think it was some sort of clever little marketing initiative. But yeah, I think it's the town in Tottori, it billed itself as being the home of Detective Conan, the Japanese character. So yeah, Conan found out about it. He went there and he gave loads of burgers to people. So yeah, well done, Conan. But yeah, definitely check it out on YouTube. It's pretty funny. Like he's such a legend. It's so much fun seeing him go around tearing up everything in Japan. Well, guys, I've got 5 minutes left. So if you've got any more questions you'd like to shoot at me, now's the time. Yeah. But this is it. I'm going back to the UK next week. I'm going to Tokyo tomorrow. Going to Tokyo, where I'll be for a few days, catching up with people, sorting out stuff, editing as well. then off to London for the first time since, I think, February. I think the last time I was in the UK was in February. This year's felt so long. Like, it's been such a cool year. Like, when I look back at everything we did, I can't believe, like, Natsuki the movie came out this year. Like, this year has just felt really long and never ending in a good way. Like, before this year, 2016, 2017 just went like bullets. They went so fast for me. So it's nice to have a year where things felt kind of slower and longer. And I think the main reason for that is just I did stuff. Just went out and did stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's because I just actually went out and met people and travelled around a bit. So yeah, it's been a good year, really good year. So hopefully next year will be just as good. There will be another live show in December. Probably, I'm going to say, the last week of December, sometime between Christmas and New Year's. So there will be the December one then. I'll be in a good mood. I'll probably look fatter than I am now because I'm probably going to eat a lot of cheese and a lot of food when I get back to the UK. The first thing I do, Greg's, as Natalie and Scrublet and lots of people are saying in the comment section, sausages in Greg's. Would you consider doing another trip across Japan, says Zed Tanir? I will, but I don't know where. I feel like I've gone everywhere now, so I don't know if I'll do another trip across Japan, to be honest. I think I'll focus on actual places rather than travelling. I think I'll just focus on places. Like, I absolutely want to go back to Kyoto and make a video in Kyoto, because today's video in Kyoto, we didn't really do a whole lot. We went to the monkey park, we went to this weird street. So I'd like to go to places like Kyoto, like Hiroshima, and make a more focused video, because I know when you guys come to Japan, you're going to want like a guide on things to do there. So I'm probably going to go and travel, make those sort of videos. What? Everybody's recommending food. What have I missed? What's going on in the comments? What's the first thing? What's Charlotte? What's the first thing you're going to eat when you get back to the UK? What is the first thing I'm going to eat when I get back to the UK? Probably. What am I going to eat? Probably a fried breakfast, which consists of bacon, sausages, fried bread, tomatoes, mushrooms, hash browns, and toast. And it's going to be glorious because half of those things you can't get in Japan. If you do get them, they taste like crap. Like sausages and bacon don't really exist in Japan. So that's the first thing I'm going to eat. Then I'm going to eat cheese. Then I'm going to eat sausages, more sausages, just everything. It's going to be amazing. Do you have any experience for leaving your luggage at train stations between some travel stops? That's a good question. Yes, use the lockers. There's loads of lockers. In every station in Japan, you've got a locker. And I use them so much because they're so damn good. Just put your stuff in a locker, forget about it, and it'll be there in a few days. And it'll come back to it. So use the lockers. The themed restaurants are such a kick. There's a tiny Toy Story themed restaurant in Hakone called Woody's. That sounds cool. Yeah, it sounds like you're ready to gain weight again, says Kath. Yeah, let's face it, it's going to happen. But I am going to jog. Right, when I get back, I am going to jog. I want to keep getting fit because there's one more video I've got to make for Journey Across Japan, and that's the epilogue video, like the kind of once I've got back home, wrapping things up video. I want to make that video at the end of January, once the dust has settled, once all the other videos have come out. I want to look really thin, so I can prove my point that I got fit on the cycle. So I need to try and stay kind of thinner. I need to stay like I am now and be better. So I'm going to be running over Christmas and lifting weights, as Jonathan recommends. So there you go. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. I guess you'll see me again in about 2 hours. The sooner I finish this, the sooner you can have a nice video. It's quite a fun one. It's a really random one. It's all Pete's doing. It's his itinerary that he thought up. So yeah, there is monkeys and there are monsters. I've still got to work out what to call it. I might just call it monkeys and monsters, right? But yeah, thanks for joining, guys, and I'll see you very soon. But for now, no matter where you might be watching from out there in the big wide world, thanks for joining me on the live chat. I keep getting distracted by something. I keep hearing a voice outside my window. I think I've either gone mental because of the Siri thing, or there is just someone in the car park just shouting outside. Fucking weird. I don't know. Scary. It's some sort of monkey or monster. Monkeys and monsters. Fucking weird. Anyway, right, guys. I'll see you later. Watch the video. 2 or 3 hours time. It's coming out. Monkeys and monsters. Have a good one. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Still haven't finished the coffee. Always happens, doesn't it? Look at that. There's still coffee. Oh.